stages of the T20 World Cup. I'm your host, Ashwin. I'm joined by DJ. We are live on YouTube a little bit earlier than we thought, DJ, because India has just defeated Pakistan. I don't even look at the magnitude of victories, but like 60 something runs. Is that that's what happened? I mean, it was 61 runs. How are you doing today, man? Before I let you speak, 2 years ago, even maybe 5 years ago, we would have both been wearing our jerseys and celebrating. But there was a couple of moments when Bumrah early on took a wicket and Hardik at the end took a wicket. When the wicket happened, they just kind of like walked back, grabbed their hat from the umpire, and walked us. So like, yeah, this is not that big a deal for us. We should be crushing these guys. We have crushed them. So, hi DJ, welcome to the show. How are you doing on the back of this India victory over Pakistan?
Yeah, business as usual, I'd say. It's 8-1 in T20 World Cups.
The most victories over any side in T20 World Cup. Some of that, by the way, is because they keep freaking making them play each other. Like they'll set up all the schedules to play 2-3 times. But anyway, yeah.
But we should talk about that, right? Because you guys recorded your preview, and that was I think, on the Friday before the T20 World Cup started. And at that point, Pakistan had boycotted this fixture. You think they should have stuck with that stance?
Yeah, I think a boycott and forfeiting 2 points, it gives you a little bit more of a moral high ground than losing by 61 runs, hoiking the ball repeatedly across, like Babar Azam getting down to hoik the ball to mid-wicket and missing it and getting bowled. Like, yeah, to answer your question, yes, they should have just stuck to their guns on the boycott and said, well, we'll never know. Maybe we could have won, but we'll take the 0 points. Now, it was pretty dang clear who the superior side was. Not to get too obnoxious about it, but I think that's just the way it feels.
Yeah, it was. I guess if you're a Pakistan fan, I sometimes wonder which of the two sets of fans is more delulu. Delhi Capitals fans before the IPL or Pakistan fans before they play India these days. I don't know, because we have all this chatter about how Pakistan has a chance. I mean, the fact is, yes, I think mathematically, I suppose any team playing another team has a chance, right? But Pakistan have beaten India 3 times across formats in the last decade. India can't. I think India has won 18 times in that time, right? And this is when we're not playing bilaterals.
Dude, the stats are just not even fair. Like it's not even
It's
fun for the.
But you remember so clearly, like the Champions Trophy 2017. You remember like the Asia, not the Asia Cup, the 2021 T20 World Cup, which was supposed to be held in 2020. The first over wickets and like the 152 for no loss. But like, no one remembers, like, okay, you remember the Melbourne game because that was exceptional. Like, and there was a great clip on socials about Kohli talking about those 2 6s where he's
The
like, come on
28
cheeks,
from
come on
8
cheeks.
and
It's so good. Like that clip is excellent. But this, I'm now starting, like, it's what Surya Kumar Yadav said, right? Like, even in a format like T20 where the difference between the sides is reduced in terms of quality. Like, I mean, of course, the US ran India pretty close, right? One could say. Um, Even in that scenario, like Pakistan isn't really able to challenge India, and they haven't been able to do that for a little while. So,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
listen, the closer game for Pakistan this time around was against the Netherlands. It was more evenly
that was a
matched. But
great
it was
game.
a fabulous kickoff to this
And
World
if
Cup.
and if they had lost that game, I
Yeah,
would
they
have
would be eliminated now.
really
Well,
no,
because
because at that point they'd still boycott it, right? Like when they would have, then they would say, no, we'll play this match.
So what do you think? Listen, we got to get into some serious conversation. But what do you think the calculus was? Was it like, hey, we just beat Netherlands with 2 or 3 balls to spare. Now we have a shot against India. Was that the calculus, or was it just like we have to hope they have a crazy 5-for-3 type of day, and we'll get into this game and all that? But yeah, what's the calculus? After they almost lost to the Netherlands, and Max O'Dowd, friend of the pod, will never forget that match.
Oh, what
And
a
all that
top
stuff.
catch! Seriously.
At that point, they're like, you know what? Now I think we're ready to play India. Was that the calculus?
So there's the whole thing about they were supporting Bangladesh and the BCB, and they were like, "Oh, you've been treated unfairly," and ICC is look, the ICC and the BCCI, frankly, which takes a large proportion of the revenue, had a commercial interest in this game happening.
Uh-huh.
Right. So this
Listen,
is
I'll tell you,
you
I
have
watched
people flying
this.
from all over the world.
Yeah, I have this on Willow, which is the official streamer in the US, living here. I'm sure there's our listeners and folks who watch it. This is the only time I've seen this many ads, even on the US stream. Like, I've been watching a lot of the World Cup games, most of them on the weekend. There's no real advertisers. The same ad keeps showing. Nobody shows up as in game. And this game had a lot of advertisers. So you understand, you take that and apply that to India and Pakistan and the Sri Lankan, the boon to the Sri Lankan economy, even from all the Indians and Pakistanis flying in. Like, the Ramiz Raja was making a joke, I think, on
Room
during the game.
service.
Yeah, the room service is taking an hour now to get because the hotels are full. I mean, it is
Shastri
a
likes the bar is serving just fine, no problem.
Shastri has an open tab at the bar. They keep him coming for him. But yeah, so to your point though, economically very important game, obviously, right?
It is, right? And I mean, it started on time, so the weather didn't like
Yeah,
play
but
a
there was a
part as
Hanuman kind concert before the show and all. Like, just like, what are you doing, guys? None of this is happening before any other game, but you before one random group game, Group A game in the tournament, you have a concert before the toss.
Yeah, and of course the pressers became really they got really focused on the pressers where Salman Agha was like, "Oh, we would like Abhishek to play." I mean, it so turned out Abhishek played 2 games, scored 2 ducks. But yeah,
He's
Surya
just
was like,
saving it.
"Okay, if
He's
they
just
want him
saving
to
it.
play, then yeah, we'll make him play, no problem."
Okay. Yeah.
Will there be handshakes? Find out tomorrow. It's all like become comedy.
It's a bit of a
I don't
reality
know.
show, right? Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like it's become like pretty hilarious, all of it, to be honest.
Yeah, DJ, let's say okay. Jokes aside, which is going to be hard because I'm in a very fun mood and I want to make all the jokes about it.
Oh, by the way, before we get in,
Yeah.
we were the Spotify India podcast of the week last week.
Thank you
So
all
we
for
should plug
listening.
that
For
and thank
those
you
you
all
guys.
for thank
Yeah.
you all for listening and keep hitting those likes and subscribes and rating and 5 stars and
Yeah.
reviews and all of that good stuff, man.
And I'm
Thank
not
you all.
looking at
That's
it, but we are doing
awesome.
this live on YouTube. So if you are live, send us messages in the chat. We'll take questions, etc.
Yeah,
But
we will because there's some fun stuff coming through in the chat right now. Right?
DJ, I think the shortest summation I think I had of this is like on Friday, as you're on, living in the US again, as you're about to log off for the week. People are like, "Oh, what do you got planned for the weekend? Anything?" I was like, "Hey, the World Cup's on, so I'm going to be. That's my weekend mornings. I'm going to be watching games Sundays, India, Pakistan." And people who don't follow the sport or aren't from the region are like, "Oh, that's a rivalry, right?" Like, it just felt like an awkward response I had. Where I was like, "Yeah, I guess it's kind of a rivalry, but I would be more excited for India, Australia, India, South Africa, maybe even India, England in this format."
Zimbabwe, Australia.
Zimbabwe, Australia, Pakistan, Netherlands. Like, those are the anyway. It felt bad because listen, I'm not naive enough to think one of these matches will come and we'll lose, and that's the nature of this format. We will lose one. We have lost one-offs, but it didn't feel like it was a very evenly matched rivalry going in, and hasn't felt for some time. So we like the commercial aspect and the history of it and all that, but it just didn't feel like what it didn't feel like it used to for those of us who grew up watching in the 90s, even through the early 2000s. It felt very different.
Yeah, as I said, I think Pakistan should have stayed boycotted and instead watched Dhurandhar because I think the match ran about the same length as that film.
Let's quickly talk about the game then, obviously, because this will be fun. India puts 175. Objectively, or let's start with the selection, right? Kuldeep back in, so they played one extra spinner, and then Abhishek in for Samson. Is Sanju done? Is Sanju done in the side as long as he's not fit? As long as, sorry, everybody else is fit, I should say.
So Sanju played pretty well, I thought. He's 22 of 8.
I mean,
He
I
looked
keep
pretty
I keep
good.
going back, by the way, in our WhatsApp group and restarring or liking the message where I say Sanju is going to do the bare minimum to stay in the conversation. He hasn't made 60 plus in a while. He hasn't also made like consistent string of 3 ducks or so in a while. Every time he's about to fall out of the reckoning, he'll do just enough to be like, he looked pretty good. When he hits the ball cleanly, he's a class apart, and that is true. He just hasn't done that often enough for India, right?
Not of late. He had one opportunity when Abhishek, I think, had a stomach bug.
Mm-hmm.
Abhishek now, funnily enough, has got 2 ducks in 2 World Cup matches. He didn't score in the IPL knockouts either, from what I remember. He got mid-stock.
Is
So now
Abhishek
I
the
can't
next?
wait for the theory. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
is Abhishek? I was going to make a different joke. Is Abhishek the next Gen Sharma, where we're going to make fun of his butter chicken habits and stuff? Was he eating king crab in Sri Lanka, and that's why he fell? Actually, Sangha and Mahela have a great restaurant down there, Ministry of Crab, right? But if he
mhm.
was there eating crab till late night and got a stomach bug, maybe that's why he didn't play.
Look, I think he needs to get some runs. I think he needs to get a run to start. Um,
Yeah, I'll start with one.
Obviously, there's a lot of hype. I think, look, with Kishan batting the way he did, and frankly, like jokes apart,
Hard.
he was. he was just unbelievable today. Like he was just, I mean, he was great in the, I think the second game as well.
I
Can't
mean,
remember the
listen,
second.
today it was 1 for 1 after Abhishek got out. And they listen, full credit, by the way, full credit among the very, very, very few bright spots for Pakistan. The captaincy to give the spinner
Well, he
Agha,
was a spinner himself.
yeah, I guess to give himself the over to open against Abhishek,
Mm.
who has just been pulverizing quick bowlers, was very smart, well played. And then Shaheen comes in, first ball of his spell. Kishan's facing up, short ball at the helmet, and just I don't know if you saw that one, but that pull shot for
That was
six,
just
just
the swivel first ball.
that was
Bang!
just the purity of the sound, like about as middle of the bat as it gets, and that's just how Kishan has been batting.
Yeah,
It was
it was
phenomenal.
class.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you look, by the way, you look down. Shivam played well at the end. Rinku hit a couple good boundaries, but Abhishek couldn't score. Tilak batted about a run a ball. Sky, and he had to do that for a bit, so I'm not discrediting him. Sky batted about a run a ball. Hardik got out for a first bowler. This was not an easy wicket to bat on.
Dube.
And
Dube hit some sixes.
Dube hit some sixes, got completely irrationally irritated at the run out, by the way. There was no second run there. Anyway, he was getting mad at Rinku, and Rinku was like, dude, I'm a better batter than you. I shouldn't sacrifice myself. But anyway, but Kishan was a class apart, right? I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how much hyperbole we can have, but I do want to celebrate the journey he's been on, right? Because there was a point when he was the next big thing, and then he sort of fell off, some disciplinary things, some attitude things. It is not easy. We've seen it time and time again. It is not easy to bounce back from that. And how he has done that, even just in the last 6-8 weeks or so, is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely incredible. Like, he wasn't really in the conversation, right? He was
Yeah.
backup keeper to Sanju. Sanju's form fell away. That's what it takes in this Indian cricket
Yep.
team. Five games without a run, and you're suddenly replaced by a guy who's got a T20 century now. He genuinely, like today, if he just stuck around and batted at a run ball like Sky and Tilak, there's nothing
Yeah.
that would have stopped Ishaan Kishan from getting 100. Instead, he played for the team. He kept going. He was hitting reverse sweeps. He hit a reverse pull shot. He was having just fun out there. It was high quality, high excitement. The ball was spinning big. Let's not like it was a tough track to bat on. When we got like 175 at one point when Kishan was out there, projected score was 200 plus.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, this was not a like we didn't fly away in the power play. We were going at about 8 runs and over for the first 5 overs. So that's not
Yeah.
by conventional standards a flyer. He actually accelerated post the power play against the spin bowlers, which was extraordinary because nobody else could like hit the ball of the square.
Yeah, he's just one of those players that when he gets going, it doesn't matter who's bowling, it doesn't matter where the fielders are, where the power play is. He just has this knack to pick it. And I have so much respect and credit for it because there was never a question for his talent. But you draw a parallel with the Prithvi Shaws of the world, who are also never a question of their talent. Phenomenally talented since very, very young ages. But just the mental tenacity to show back up. And listen, similar to what I said about India, he will have a bad day. That's okay. He's demonstrated that he has what it takes. He's demonstrated that he has the mental fortitude. And I mean, 77 off 40 was a great knock in real time. But looking back in hindsight, where nobody else really, other than a couple of good boundaries from Dubey, and nobody from the Pakistan team was able to get bat on ball consistently, it just makes you that knock was worth a century.
Yeah, and what he said, what I think the stat was when he got out, he'd scored 87% of India's runs.
Yeah. There was one point in the partnership where I think Tilak, and full credit to Tilak, by the way, every time he did get strike, he just took a single. He
Yeah,
said that
just
this
one. Yeah.
guy's hitting this ball. I don't need to try to go for it and get out. I don't need to even go for doubles. Just get him back on strike.
Yeah,
So
it was great. It was
it felt
incredible to
like
watch.
good. It felt like good team effort. All right, DJ, let's take a very, very quick break. We will come back. We'll talk about the Pakistan innings or whatever little bit there is to talk about, and then we'll talk a little bit about the rest of the World Cup. If you're live with us on YouTube, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast. If you're live with us on YouTube, you probably didn't see us go anywhere, but this helps us insert the ads into our podcast when they come later. But hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are at One Tip One Hand on all the social medias. We'd love to hear from you, but YouTube, of course, we love to read all the comments, including the live chat, which we'll come to in a little bit. DJ, Hardik Pandya gets the opening over. The one potential threat against Jasprit Bumrah, and I say potential, but it's valid, is Sahibzada Farhan, who's batted very, very, very well against him in the past. And he didn't get to face him because Hardik got him out in a wicket maiden first over. Bumrah comes on, gets tonked for a six, and then gets just an absolute beauty Yorker, clipped the pad up front. One of those, like, why did you even waste a review on it, boss? Like, it was to the naked eye. You could have been 10,000 miles away, and from the naked eye, it looked absolutely plumb. And then collapse just kind of happened from there, right? Bumrah got a couple. Akshar, Babar hit one nice shot and then went for this hoik. I think it just felt like a theme where the Pakistani batters kept trying to play across the line, hit it to deep mid wicket, which is like, listen, I'm a pretty bad cricketer. That's the kind of shit I like to do. Like when I get on and play, I haven't played in a while, just swing because it's that baseball type swing. Like, use your straight pad, use all parts of the ground. Nobody till Usman Khan for a little bit really seemed to be doing that. Anything really to comment on the Pakistani batting?
King Babar.
5 off 7.
Which one of which was an edge for 4 over point.
Anything about the bowling, by the way? Anything you will say? Like what?
I mean, the Bumrah dismissal with the new ball, that was excellent. Like he beat him for pace and swing.
Just
once the quicks had reduced Pakistan for 13 for 3, I mean, then the spinners were never going to let anybody get. I mean, there was some gifts, there was some full tosses from Kuldeep that got wickets and just stuff. And look, I mean, all the chatter before this game was that the round arm guy, right? What's his name? Umair?
Tariq.
Tariq.
What's his name?
Is it Tariq? Tariq. Usman Tariq.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tariq.
Dude, I wonder what's the history of
he bowled well.
But is he got off like Ronaldo, where he used to like run up, stop, and then take the penalty kick?
It's like a Keja meets like Ashwin when Ashwin with the pause. Do you remember?
The pause.
It's like a Keja into Ashwin action.
He's a wicket-taking bowler. He bowled well, but it just
bowled pretty well actually. And he got Surya's wicket, which incidentally Surya was the guy who was copying him in the nets, which was another pretty hilarious sight. But look, there was nothing. Once the Quicks got the early wickets, there was no chance. And this is the highest score, by the way, in a India-Pakistan T20 World Cup game, 175. 160 was the previous highest score.
Yeah.
It's just the pressure, I think, adds quite a lot. Look, there's nothing to write home about. Like, this is not a good team. Pakistan are not a good side. It's like, I don't know what to say. Like, IPL games are more entertaining than this because the teams are evenly matched. You're looking at, as I've said previously, an all-time great T20 side. And after I said that, by the way, Jared Kimber did a video the next day saying this may be an all-time great T20 side for India. It's where are the holes for this side?
Yeah.
In a game like today, Colombo, they just played like an extra spinner. They dropped a guy like Arshdeep, who's like an ace T20 bowler. Probably he's got the highest number of wickets for T20.
Yeah, and one of the top in the world still, right? Like
and you drop him to bring in another spinner. And who's the spinner that comes in? Kuldeep. Like, dude, you've got all the bases covered. This is exceptional stuff. And then you come across Pakistan, which is bits and pieces. And look, they might go on and win the whole thing, right? And then
that's how T20 works. It could happen.
But that is T20. And as I said, every team has a chance.
Yeah.
When you step out, even the Lagan team had a chance against the British team, right?
Yeah. That wasn't even T20.
But that's the kind of miracle that you're looking for Pakistan to beat this Indian side.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, the kind of dedication to at the end when the match was clearly over already, but Kuldeep dropped that catch and the ball went for 6 off Shaheen and stuff. The team wasn't over. The team wasn't done. Nobody stopped. Nobody took their foot off the gas. They would go till the last wicket got taken. And I liked seeing that from this Indian side.
And Hardik got really pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. Hardik values his figures. He values and net run rate and stuff matter. It probably won't.
First he pointed to Kishan, then pointed to Kuldeep. Then he's like, I'll do this myself and I'll bowl the guy.
Get him bowled.
No more catching business.
Let me ask you then, just quickly, last thought, from a Team India standpoint. And listen, people came here for analytics about the game and this and that, but there's not that much to say. So let's talk a little bit about Team India. You mentioned bringing back Kuldeep. They don't play again in Colombo unless, of course, India meets Pakistan again, as far as I understand. Right? Yeah.
Super 8, right?
But from a spinning wicket standpoint, I thought it was very interesting, not only that they gave Tilak the ball, but he got a wicket in his first ball. What is your thought on that? Is that the role Tilak will play now?
No, this is just...
Abhishek has
Robin Uttapa was on comms when Tilak came on. and that was just a flex. It was just like,
Mm.
we can't be bothered to bowl our
Just here,
frontliners at you.
let's give our number 3 batter who's in this team as a
Give
full-time batter.
Tilak a bowl, give Rinku a bowl. I don't know, like Sky was going to come on, I'm sure, at some point if they lasted the full 20 overs. It was just like, we don't take you seriously.
Yeah,
And some may call it a lack of respect. But look, I mean, we've suffered as part of the generation that got thrashed by Pakistan.
Yeah,
They did not get bored of beating us.
yeah,
They
it's
enjoyed
true.
it.
Yeah,
Every Friday we turned up in Sharjah and we got smashed. Right? So, like, this is like karma. It's coming around.
yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, what I think is interesting though is there's clearly a choice to say you can flex based on the pitch between Arshdeep and Kuldeep, essentially, and then Dubey will get the ball when it's relevant, or I guess maybe Tilak Rinku types will, or even Sky will get the ball when it's helpful or relevant, but probably shouldn't need to and won't need to. But it seems like basically my point was from a team that felt like only six batters, five bowlers, and then we started picking bowlers who could bat and batters who could bowl and stuff. You're starting to, the reason this might be an all-time great T20 side is because you're starting to give yourself enough balance that, you know, Akshar's walking in at 8, right? In this side. That guy could bat at
Which
3 or
we needed in the
4.
first game, by the way, which
Yeah.
again we have not discussed.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit quickly about the others. But Akshar could bat 3 or 4 for most countries.
Yeah.
Right? And he's batting at 8. And then similarly, you have Tilak who bats 3, who can give you overs. That's starting to give you some flexibility that I'm sure will be important and potentially needed at the
And
latest.
Sky has bowled a match-winning over for us a few years ago. One of the first few games he was captain in.
Yeah.
So he can bowl as well, and maybe he'll bowl with the Tariq action. But look, man, Abrar bowled. He got whacked. Abrar was the last time we played these guys. That guy was there. Shadab played. So at least there was some consistency. I actually knew some of the names this time that Pakistan came up with.
Yeah. Not just
but-
Babar and Rizwan like we always assume.
But there's no Rizwan.
No
Rizwan is
Rizwan.
gone.
No.
And yeah, this guy same. He seemed pretty good. Like he had a
Yeah.
good game. Took some wickets. Didn't get runs, and like took some catches.
There are semblances of things that make this a potentially good team. You and I could be eating our words if they go and win this whole World Cup. That's how T20 works. But it is
But
not.
Shahid Afridi will come out of retirement, and then
That's it.
they'll be okay.
That's exactly. But listen, we have to all hold hands and acknowledge it's not the rivalry that we thought it was over time. Now they did it Sunday night India, Sunday morning for me, perfectly middle of the day for you. Like it is all perfectly set up to get the maximum number of eyeballs, and it will. But it didn't justify it today.
Yeah, but what about the handshakes, bro?
I
Where are you on
don't,
those?
man, I don't care about the hand. I want to watch the cricket. I want to focus on the cricket. From their lights, they probably should have boycotted. I was happy that I got to watch a game, but it was also kind of crappy. Like it was not a good game. It was a one-sided game. Anyway,
Would you rather have a handshake and a one-sided game, or no handshakes and a tight game?
no handshake tight game for sure. Like, listen, I'm an India fan to its core. I wanted us.
But
to
right
win.
now
Of
you're
course I
getting
did.
no handshakes and no game.
Yeah, there was a point in the chase, even when they were 3 down, when you started messaging, basically saying this game is over. And I was like, I kind of want somebody to fight back a little, just to, as a sports fan.
But you know, when you
close
said that,
games
and
matter,
when you said that, I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe I should hold back because India were 31 for 4 in Melbourne.
Right.
In that Kohli
Right.
chase. And I'd messaged at 36 for 4. And I was like, okay, have I been premature?
Yeah.
But then I sent you the Hassan Ali celebration where he
Yeah.
was the
If anybody
shoulder,
knows how
and
to
I felt
celebrate
better.
prematurely, it's the Pakistanis, right? All right, DJ, let's very quickly talk about a couple of the other things that have happened. India got a little bit of a scare against the US, but managed to come through, crush the Namibian side, biggest margin of victory in a World Cup, etc. for us. And then obviously have beaten Pakistan. So India has now qualified. We mentioned Pakistan versus Netherlands. The Netherlands side, the scoreboard the table will say 1 victory and 2 losses, but they have looked very good. They did look very good against Pakistan. Unfortunately, got crushed against the US and will probably lose to the Indian side. So it looks a little bit challenging. In Group B, Zimbabwe over Australia. And it didn't look like Australia had an absolute horror of a day, and it didn't look like Zimbabwe played too much out of their skins. This just looked like a good side, clinical fielding, just phenomenal catches. But I think I read somewhere Australia got outbatted, outbowled, and outfielded by a collective unit from Zimbabwe. Is this a sign of things to come that Zimbabwe can edge its way back into being a force in world cricket? Because that would be great for everybody.
It would be. They need some resources, and they lack that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Brendan Taylor was playing when Zimbabwe last beat Australia.
But Zimbabwe is undefeated, by the way, against Australia in T20 World Cup. They've only played twice and won both. What a stat that is, right? Australia is one of the
Insane.
most decorated
And they
World
beat
Cup teams
Pakistan
in
last
history.
time as well
Yeah.
because the real Pak Bean didn't
Pak
show up.
Bean. Man, all these
Yeah, so
moments.
good on Zimbabwe. Nice to see Brendan Taylor back, man. Like he's had a story. He's had like a drug rehabilitation, some match fixing stuff that he didn't report. He had a ban, and he's back batting at 3. Although I think he hurt his hamstring, so maybe he's out for the tournament. So
Yeah.
blast from the past.
A couple other things then to highlight. Nepal, disappointing, but also this was all the first few matches, by the way.
Yeah.
Almost took it over the line to England. This is all good for the sport and shows you that these teams getting more exposure. There's a lot of us, me included, by the way, who's at the early stages of the game, of the World Cup, not as exciting, could be bad for the sport if there are all these thrashings one-sided. So even though England won and Pakistan beat Netherlands,
But England
they were
actually
close.
they needed 10 of the last 6.
Yeah,
Sam Curran bowled an over from hell. Like he really saved their blushes there.
Nepal should have won that. Netherlands should
Yeah.
have won that, and more experience will help these teams get over the line in these situations. DJ, before we wrap, South Africa versus Afghanistan.
Double super over.
My word. I mean, this would not have happened 3-4 years ago, right? The rule.
Jimmy Neesham mentioned
Jimmy
that.
Neesham made a point. By the way, I saw him playing and I was like, Neesham is still playing for New Zealand. I didn't realize he's still around.
Yeah. T20.
But yeah, thoughts on that double super over? Again, South Africa, the higher ranked team on paper, the better, more experienced side won that. But Afghanistan played absolutely magnificent. So you look at the scoreboard now, and obviously having lost also to New Zealand, and say Afghanistan hasn't put a point up, they may not qualify. But my word, that super over. Talk me through quickly the double super over.
Well, it was a double super over. Sorry, I was actually at work, so I didn't get to watch it live. But I did watch the highlights, and I did watch Dale Stein's reactions to it. I think there was sabotage from both sides.
Yeah.
In there. So yeah, I don't know. It was unfortunate, I think, for Afghanistan, who had it. I thought they had it actually. The last wicket that went down, I was like, oh my god, if that had gone in the gap, that was the end, right?
Yeah.
But no, I think there was also the USA game, which we should talk about, which is your home country. I don't know. Are you cheering for the US?
I'm certainly not, but I do enjoy watching them play pretty well. It's just nice to see. I mean, I'm in the USA Pakistan game. I was cheering for the US, of course. But
who's the top wicket taker of the World Cup?
Yeah, who is the top?
Is your fast bowler Van Shalike?
Shadley. I keep calling him Shady, by the way. I keep calling him Shady and Shalwick, but Shadley.
Van
wow.
Shalwick.
Yeah, listen, good for him, man.
13 wickets, boss.
It's fantastic.
So he took all those wickets against India, and of course we should talk about the sky
I think
now.
one of 2 non-Desis against playing in the US.
Yeah, because I think Donald Trump not tweeted. He's not on Twitter. Maybe he's on Twitter. Put a Truth Social post out saying best of luck to the US for the World Cup and stuff. And then someone put a picture of the team. There's like 2 white guys. It's like ice is coming.
Oh my god. It's too much.
Yeah, love the comment section, man.
It's too much. There are too many green card H1B jokes and all of this stuff. Like the first game I saw somebody posted Aadhaar card versus green card and all. Like India versus it was pretty good. Anyway, DJ, let us talk very quickly then about the Super 8 groups coming up, right? They are pre-seeded. So anyway, it's gonna be complicated. By the time we are together next week, we will know who the teams are. Do you expect surprises? The one big question mark really is Australia-Sri Lanka. Australia plays Sri Lanka. By the time many of you have listened to this, you will hear it. Sri Lanka has looked good, but they've only played both Ireland and Oman. Thoughts on Australia versus Sri Lanka? If Sri Lanka can keep them out, Australia goes home for the most part.
Yeah, and Sri Lanka are a pretty strong side. Like they're playing at home. They're playing in their own conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Australia, which is quite possible. It would be an interesting. Did you guys predict Australia will make it through? I think all of you did.
We did. Yeah. So it would be a big upset.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the West Indies looked pretty good. That was a good game as well against England.
West Indies look solid. I mean, Varun didn't predict them, I think, getting very far, but they're always a good T20 side. Like
Nicky P doing his thing.
you can never write off T20 West Indies. They're already through, by the way. So the teams that have
Yeah.
qualified so far, India, of course. Group B is wide up in the air, except that Oman is eliminated. West Indies is qualified. Nepal is eliminated. So England, Scotland will be fighting for it, but I think England will get there. And then Group D is also wide open with South Africa and New Zealand. Afghanistan has some work to do, but they have two
But
must-win,
Afghanistan, yeah, but I
two
don't
winnable
think they
matches.
can go through if they win.
If they win
Because won't
both
it
by
be
big
head to
margins,
head?
they would still need New Zealand to lose to Canada, essentially. Oh,
Yeah,
is it head to head then, or is it
it'll be
net
head to
100?
head amongst. But net 100 is a 3% tie, no?
Yeah, but it won't be a 3% tie. South Africa's already
Yeah,
at 6 points. So
it'll be head to head.
very difficult, nearly impossible or
Yeah,
maybe impossible
Afghanistan,
for.
I think, difficult for them to go through.
I'm surprised they're not being marked as eliminated. Then there must be some mathematical
No,
solution.
there must be because there must be some scenario where people lose and whatever else.
Yeah. So, all right, DJ, thank you for joining me. This has been a lot of fun. I thought we would spend more time talking about India, Pakistan, and run out of time to talk the rest, but we got a chance to go through at least the highlights.
Yeah. And we should just give a shout out to the chat. I think Ashutosh Bajpai 9832. I didn't watch the game as I don't like to watch people being waterboarded. I think that was an interesting one. Kishan from Professor Arti. Kishan needs a contract. Bummed he didn't get one for next year. Does he not have a contract?
No, he didn't get this, but that's okay, man. He'll get one. Like that's how this works, right? If you're not in the setup, you don't get a contract. You'll get one the following year. I'm not that upset about it. It is what it is.
Right. And then Manohar Reddy says it helps when you guys are consistent in releasing episodes, which I think is a nice segue into your sign off.
Yeah, we will definitely be more consistent the holiday season and listen, IPL season is coming up. It's going to be great, but we get through the T20 World Cup first. Thank you everybody for joining. We are at One Tip One Hand on all the socials, but we are Edges and Sledges on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave us a comment if you're watching this later. But maybe by the time you're listening to this, Australia is already de facto knocked out of the World Cup. But India has beaten Pakistan yet again, and we are sort of celebrating that, but also it is what it is. It had to happen. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for joining us. This is the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast, signing